The fulfillment of the law. Today, we're diving into another key part of the Sermon on the Mount, the fulfillment of the law. Jesus' words in Matthew 5:17-20 are revolutionary, showing us that he didn't come to discard the law, but to complete and fulfill it in a way that was totally unexpected. So, what does it mean that Jesus fulfilled the law? And how should we understand this today? Let's dive in and look at some supporting verses from the New Testament that expand on this idea. Jesus begins by saying, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them." Matthew 5:17. This statement is important. Jesus respects the law given by God, but he brings something deeper, a fulfillment that reveals the true heart behind it. The law points us to God's holiness, and Jesus shows us how it can be fully lived out through him. Romans 10:4. Christ is the end of the law so that there may be righteousness for everyone who believes. In Romans 10:4, Paul says, Christ is the end of the law so that there may be righteousness for everyone who believes. This doesn't mean the law is meaningless now. Instead, it means that Jesus accomplished what the law was always pointing toward, a way to live righteously before God. Next, Jesus adds, "For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen, will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished." Matthew 5:18. Jesus emphasizes that the law isn't going away. It will remain until everything it points to is completed in him. He's showing that the law and the prophets find their full meaning in his life, teachings, and ultimate sacrifice. Galatians 3:24. So the law was our guardian until Christ came that we might be justified by faith. Paul explains in Galatians 3:24, so the law was our guardian until Christ came that we might be justified by faith. The law guided and prepared us, showing us our need for a Savior. Now through Jesus we're justified by faith, not by merely following the law. Jesus takes it a step further, saying, "For I tell you that unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven." Matthew 5:20. Now, this must have shocked his listeners. The Pharisees were known for their strict adherence to the law, but Jesus is saying that true righteousness is more than outward actions. It's about the condition of the heart. Hebrews 8:10. I will put my laws in their minds and write them on their hearts. In Hebrews 8:10 we read, I will put my laws in their minds and write them on their hearts. This is what Jesus is pointing to, a transformation of our hearts. The law isn't just rules to follow. It's a relationship with God that shapes our lives from the inside out. So, what does it mean for us today? Jesus fulfilling the law doesn't mean we ignore it. Instead, it means we live out its true purpose through him, loving God and loving others, not out of obligation, but out of a transformed heart. Jesus invites us to embody the law in a way that goes deeper than rules, reaching into our character and our compassion. Thanks for joining me today. What does fulfilling the law mean to you? Let us know in the comments below.